bullying, harassment, and cyberbullying. Let's look at how big the problem is. Bullying is very common. About 1 in 5 high school students reported being bullied on school property, and more than 1 in 6 high school students reported being bullied electronically in the last year. Bullying affects all youth, including those who are bullied, those who bully others, and those who witness bullying. The effects of bullying may continue into adulthood. Some youth experience bullying more than others. Nearly 40% of high school students who identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, and about 33% of those who were not sure of their sexual identity experienced bullying at school or electronically in the last year, compared to 22% of heterosexual high school students. About 30% of female high school students experienced bullying at school or electronically in the last year, compared to about 19% of males. Nearly 29% of white high school students experienced bullying at school or electronically in the last year, compared to about 19% of Hispanic and 18% of Black high school students. Even though those are statistics, there is not a single profile of a young person involved in bullying. Youth who bully can be either well-connected socially or marginalized, and may be bullied by others as well. Similarly, those who are bullied sometimes bully others. Bullying is a frequent discipline challenge. Nearly 14% of public schools report that bullying is a discipline challenge occurring daily or at least once a week. Reports of bullying obviously are highest in middle schools, followed by high schools and primary schools. Reports of cyberbullying are highest in middle schools, followed by high schools and primary schools as well. Let's look at the definition from the Texas Education Code. Bullying is a single significant act or a pattern of acts by one or more students directed at another student that exploits an imbalance of power and involves engaging in written or verbal expression through electronic means, or physical conduct that has the effect or will have the effect of physically harming a student, damaging their property, or placing a student in reasonable fear of harm to that person or of damage to the student's property. Is sufficiently severe, persistent, or pervasive enough that the action or threat creates an intimidating, threatening, or abusive educational environment for a student. Materially and substantially disrupts the educational process or the orderly operation of a classroom or school, or infringes on the rights of the victim at school, and includes cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is that bullying that is done through the use of any electronic communication device, telephone, computer, camera, electronic mail, instant messaging, etc. Schools are responsible for looking at bullying and cyberbullying and taking all incidences seriously. The definition of harassment is threatening to cause harm or bodily injury to another student, engaging in sexually intimidating conduct, causing physical damage to the property of another student, subjecting another student to physical confinement or restraint, or maliciously taking any action that substantially harms another student's physical or emotional health or safety. So the consequences of bullying to those who are involved can result in physical injury, social and emotional distress, self-harm, and even death. It also increases the risk for depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievement, and dropping out of school. Youth who bully others are at increased risk for substance misuse, academic problems, and experiencing violence later in adolescence and adulthood. Youth who bully others and are bullied themselves suffer the most serious consequences and are at greater risk for mental health and behavioral problems. In San Angelo ISD, we must be proactive and take steps to prevent bullying at all costs. We want to build an emotionally safe classroom or school environment through building relationships and through social contracts. We want to take time to define how students will communicate with each other and with the adults, and also communicate our non-negotiables on how students would treat each other. We want to model respectful interactions for students at all times, have clearly defined routines and procedures in place. Want to monitor students at all times, engage them in learning activities, and minimize their unstructured downtime. Make sure students know how to report bullying and that it's okay to report to an adult. Take students seriously when they do report incidences of bullying to you. In the classroom or staff, it is not our job to determine whether bullying has taken place, but to listen to the students, to document what they are saying, and then to turn that information over to someone from our administrative team who can further investigate the incident and determine whether or not it meets the Texas Education Code definition of bullying. San Angelo ISD does have the Stay Alert School Safety Program. This is a completely anonymous reporting feature, so please let your students know about this. It is a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week bilingual reporting program designed to help create safer environments. Students can text or call the number there, and they can even report online. So please make sure your students are aware of this program or this feature. For other information on bullying, please see the student handbook. Please talk to your administrative team at your school. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.